We
You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen, out in the interwebs across the world, maybe even hitting Neptune by the end of this episode. We'll see. We got Uncle Jim 21 of CASCDR and Austin of PlebDev's Voltage fame. Heavy hitters in Austin.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right
Grab a
here.
beer. It's going to be a full hour of fun.
Jim has literally 3 beers in front of him. I don't know if he's nervous or angry or I don't know.
So we're literally the only thing we're talking about today is Pull It Up Jamie and CASCDR and what Jim's building inside the lab every day. Jim, just give us a rundown what CASCDR is, how long you've been building it, and then Pull Up Jamie, what it is.
What's up, guys? I'm Jim from CASCDR. We're doing AI the base way, so we have Bitcoin payable AI services. So I created Pull That Up Jamie. I was just thinking about people like Carr, other Bitcoin podcasters that are getting the message out there. How can we make better propaganda? Kind of listening to my inner Bitstein. How can we make better propaganda? And I was like, we need to make them an AI version of Jamie Vernon, young Jamie from Joe Rogan. And so I decided to create Pull That Up Jamie. Jamie does 2 things really well. He searches the web in the base private way, gets you off of Google, uncucks you from Google, and he also helps you search up podcast clips from any Joe Rogan episode or any other of the 47 podcasts we have in there. Helps you pull it up super fast using state-of-the-art AI techniques.
Nice. Yeah, let's dive into it. Where can they go? Like if they wanted to follow along, Jim, where can they go?
You can go to pullthatupjamie.ai. Just same way it sounds.
Nice. Okay, cool. So we're gonna dive into a lot of different things today. It's actually, if you've never used Pull It Up Jamie before, it's just as useful as Jamie on Joe Rogan. Like you literally can search for anything. I use it on SNL. I use it in the office. I use it on my phone. It can be used everywhere. So I can literally go to it and like search for anything. So if I wanted to find out about a court case, I don't know, or
you say Ninth Circuit rulings, and I think there was a bunch of stuff going on this week with Trump.
Okay,
that's like Trump. The West Coast.
So I can search for this instead of going to Google and getting doxxed and followed and advertised on, and it'll come up here with just different sources of news. So explain what's going on here, Jim.
Yeah, so it's going in and it uses a really based project that's open source that I found called SeerXNG, and they basically index the search indexes, so you effectively get an anonymous version of Google, DuckDuckGo, all that other good stuff, and we feed it through your option of Claude or ChatGPT, but it's all anonymous, so we act as your shield between you and ChatGPT or Claude, so you get the upside of like a Perplexity type experience without having to give up your identity, and because you can pay in Bitcoin, you can remain anonymous as long as you want to.
So as you can see right there, like I clicked on this first thing. It's the 5th one here, and then it takes me right to the article, and then I can start reading. But I think it's really cool how it just kind of gives you like a summarization. Maybe that's not what I'm looking for. It just feels more like shooting a sharper search, if that makes sense. Like it's just a more well-defined search.
Yeah, and what I was thinking when I built this is, I want you to be able to kind of pick your level and scope of research. You can stay high level and just get the summary and just kind of analyze it, or you can dig as deep as you want to. It has the inline references. It has all of the different references that came up as it was there. And what I think is really cool, especially when it's a complex issue with pros and cons, for and against, it'll give me kind of both sides, and I can kind of figure out what the arguments are for and against. So it kind of sharpens my critical thinking skills, and that's really what we're about at CASCDR, is embodying those Bitcoiner values of privacy, rigor, thinking things through critically, thinking for yourself.
Austin, when you see something like this, like what does your mind go to as far as like what you're seeing on the screen? Like does it feel like a search to you? Do you see it more like as a developer and as a builder in the ecosystem? Like how do you see this?
Well, I mean, it's the kind of search experience I think most people want nowadays. And kind of when I look at this, I just think about what it would be like to build it, just because that's how my mind works. And I know it takes a lot of work to go into this. For one, like the models, the interfaces, but then also how, I mean, pull that up, Jamie, is basically wrapping these other indexes and kind of giving you privacy. I think that's an important part, and it's the fact that like the best in UX can kind of be paired up with the best in like user privacy, and that those two can work together and not be at odds. And I think this is like the perfect example of that. Like you have something like this, and it kind of makes the way that OpenAI or Anthropic or these other companies, the way they data mine you, it just makes it seem pointless. Like, why can't you do it like Jamie does? Jamie doesn't ask for my social security every time I want to pull a podcast clip, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Austin. And, you know, I have to give a shout out. One project that really inspired me was called Perplexica. And I thought it was really awesome because, you know, they make it so you can run a Docker container on your machine and get a similar experience to this. But the problem with that is not a lot of people know how to use Docker, you know, so I wanted to make something that was kind of friendlier on the UX and the setup side. So like your grandma could use this. My mom literally uses this, and she's the worst with, sorry, Mom, you're the worst with asking for help sometimes.
Hey.
But she can use this pretty easily. So
It's easier than Roku.
yeah.
I'm sorry. He said that without checking before me. So. Cool. So okay. So I got a question here. So let's say I'm really interested in all the stuff that's going on with Trump and the rulings and all that stuff. How fast can I switch over to podcast search here?
Yeah,
Is
so
it
you
just
can
clicking it.
You can switch over instantly. You just click the podcast search.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I index some political podcasts, some lifestyle podcasts, some like history or domain specific podcasts. Like one of those is AI. You know, some of these are more startup focused. We got a whole list of them here. I mean, I can read them off to you. We got Joe Rogan, we got Thriller Bitcoin, we got Stacker News, Green Candle, Bitcoin Audible, Robin Sayre, Diary of a CEO, Juan Galt, shout out to Juan, Bitcoin Matrix, Cedric Youngelman, one of the legends, way underrated.
It's candles.
Yeah, we got Brandon from Green Candle.
Let's go.
Shout out to him. Rabbit Hole Recap. So a lot of based Bitcoiner content. That was kind of the initial focus, but I did try to expand it a little bit and give some other context. So a couple right-wing podcasts, a couple left-wing podcasts, try to find, you know, the signal inside the noise, and also some funny podcasts, some podcasts that are apolitical, that are more lifestyle focused. I wanted to kind of make it so you could think about, you know, health, wealth, happiness, different perspectives.
So I can type in ninth ruler, the same search I had before. I can then right here, Jim. Do I have to select all? What do I do here if I want to run a similar search?
So I think it should select all. It's on all 47.
And then just hit search here.
Yeah, if you just hit the search button, it'll go through.
Yeah, maybe
So look, there it goes right there.
Yeah, and so this is Pod Save America. These guys are Obama shills, but you know they'll at least tell you.
Well. So what's interesting? So I'm going to hit play, and the audience will hear this. Hang on.
In the minds of the Supreme Court, they must be thinking, okay, if Trump just refuses to comply with a ruling or defies a court order, like what recourse does the Supreme Court have? And if they think that the answer is not much at all, will they in advance be wary of delivering a ruling that they think Trump will defy, in which case it's functionally the same thing?
See, so right there, that just proves I can go. I don't know anything what's going on. I'm completely out of the loop, and I can find out exactly what's going on with this ninth ruling court's Trump thing that I keep hearing everybody talking about, right?
Yeah, and you can pick up anywhere in the podcast. If you were to continue playing, it would pause. It would give you the option to continue. So that's the cool thing about it is, you know, you don't have to listen to the whole podcast. You can kind of get.
But see, what's cool here though is look, now I got no agenda and I can hit play here.
Still,
Right.
many organizations are unclear whether they are allowed to operate and worry about losing staff and infrastructure. Trump's order is being challenged in U.S. courts, and Tuesday, a judge temporarily blocked the directive. The White House says it will defend the funding freeze, and this fight is likely to go all the way to the Supreme Court.
This is how a businessman thinks. Like, okay, let me shut it all.
You just heard Adam Curry. Incredible. And then look, here's another one from Tim Cast.
They go to the Supreme Court. They lose 9-0, Supreme Court. A day before inauguration is the time where the clock has run out. President Trump comes in office, and he decides not to enforce the law. Now, Tim, I want to ask you, because you were talking about the checks and balances in the system.
So,
I think the example
so literally right there, what's really cool, tell me if I'm wrong here, Jim. I can clip this, and let's say Austin was out of the loop. I can then go here to a separate tab, paste that clip, and now Austin is in the loop. I can
and
say
it just surfaces.
Austin,
Yeah,
have you heard about this?
Exactly.
It was 9-0.
Yeah, you know, and I'm a podcast
Day
afocionado.
before,
I've been
inauguration
dog fooding
is,
different podcast products for a while. And I found this problem where it's like, oh, I want to share some with my dad, or I want to share some with Carr or Austin, very specific, and it just makes that process much easier. You don't have to make them invest an hour into finding and sifting through exactly what you want. You can find the thing, the 5-minute snippet of the conversation that's relevant and send it to them. So I want to give that to the world because that's something I felt personally as a pain point.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty big time saver, because there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, there's this interesting snippet of this podcast, and maybe I'm like in the process of listening to it, and I'm like, oh, like maybe I want to share this and I have something to say about it. But the amount of work to do that, it's honestly like 5 minutes of work. Like I need to go find it, I need to go clip that part, record it myself, and then go, share it and comment on social media or whatever. So this shortens that. I could see myself, and maybe this is a question, can I pay you to start indexing the podcasts of the people I hate? Because I want to find when they go up, talking about some bullshit, I want to be able to pull the receipt. Like, hey, look, here's you on your own podcast. All I did is went to Jamie and I searched.
I did not think of the adversarial use case. I was thinking more of the use case where it's like, you have a podcast, you publish pleb devs to RSS, and you want me to index it for you to make it easier to find stuff. If you have multiple enemies, we can do a package deal. We can do a discount, but there is a method. If you click the podcast feeds button, there is a way to request new podcasts. Can you click that real quick?
So the other cool thing,
Car, can you just click that?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm gonna say something real quick. But the other really cool thing though is like, if you're just looking at this for the first time, you think all the podcasts that you search from are away, but they're not. It's literally just hidden because that's how you do it. It's magic. Look how awesome that is.
So there's the white button up there. You can hit the request a podcast button in the top right corner. If you hit that, you can just tell us which podcast you want, and then explain: are you just a fan? Are you a producer? Are you the owner of the podcast? Are you keeping track of your arch enemy? Whatever it happens to be. Let us know, and then we can figure out some kind of deal that works for everyone. For the fan podcast, if I get enough repeat ones, I'll probably just do it pro bono. If it's, if you're owner of the podcast, we'll have a conversation. We'll make sure we share the cost of spinning up a new podcast and make it a win-win. And, we even have concierge services where, we're going to get into the clips in a second, where we can send you an email with all the clips at your disposal.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. Let me hit cancel here. But yeah, Topher, you just walked over here. What do you think about Pull It Up Jamie and kind of what CASCDR's been building for the past, how long, Jim?
I'd say 2-3 months.
I'm still amazed that I can just type in one word, like one out of context obscure word, and within like a second it'll show me like all these clips with just the right amount of context around each clip, so I can kind of like jog my memory and go, oh, I remember this, and I can just easily find what I'm looking for.
Give me a word. What word?
Well, okay, let's do mercury poisoning from sushi, because that's the one I did. Because that was from Stacker News, where Topher was.
I gotta bring that.
Yeah, was talking about. He just ate sushi every day for way too long. Oh man, it wasn't the first one. Scroll down. It should be in here. There we go. It's the third one.
Look,
there you go.
You know what? I feel like I can't get sushi.
I remember this
after
one.
This mercury poisoning.
This is like the first rip we did in the new PlebLab at the.
Oh wait, this is where he said it. So that was when I said it.
I had any time to eat proper meals.
Know about these
so I would I thought this was a cool life hack. I would just go to the grocery store and just buy out all of their sushi at the end of the day and just eat sushi.
It's like when you do.
And I did that for
too much cheap liquor and sushi.
Cheap liquor. I think you say here too. You would just
Yeah, it was definitely the poor man's ayahuasca trip.
Poor man's ayahuasca trip.
Don't need to take a trip to the Amazon. Just
Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to just like I don't even want to have a podcast, but I want to have a way of just taking down like personal notes, like dictation, and then running it through this, because it's so easy to search and find what you're looking for. I don't know. It still blows my mind that it's that fast.
Austin, what's your favorite pod that's in this list here?
Maybe like Rogan pod or Hardcore History.
I just found out the Rework guys
Where's
have
Joe
one.
Rogan at? He's in here.
You
right?
can you can
He's
search at the
end.
top. Yeah, you can filter by searching. Yeah, so you Joe. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
So
You've got most of the podcast. Like, I feel like I listen to a lot of podcasts, but you got most every.
You did add 2 Bobs, but other than that,
I got inside the Bitcoiner mind and made sure we
that's
covered
cool.
those. We have Optech too. That's the other one that's awesome
Oh,
because
that's a really good
when
research.
it's technical, it's like Optech, like
Oh,
even
let's
Huberman
get-
Lab. It's like
let's
okay,
do
oh,
it,
I
dude.
heard a tidbit
Yeah,
on
because
Huberman Lab
this
how to
one
get
actually-
healthier. Yeah,
this one would actually be really cool. So, give me a technical term right now that you guys are discussing.
Bolt 12.
Well, that feels like that's going to come up multiple times.
Boom.
Yeah.
We covered
Bolt 12.
Strike. I believe it was. I don't know what newsletter it was, but we highlighted their Bolt 12 playground.
Shout
which
out
is
to
sort of
merch.
like a way to play around with Bolt 12 that they published for the community. That was probably in the
then
last
say
few
if I
months
wanted to
here,
listen to the
and
whole
now they
podcast, Jim,
officially support.
where would I click to do that?
Bolt
So you
12
can hit the
authors,
listen
and
button. That'll take you to their like Spotify landing page.
Boss.
Yeah, so you can listen to the whole thing
So the
beginning
whole
to
thing right
end.
here, yeah.
If you wanted to, you can listen to ours. I'd prefer that you honestly do it this way because I want to make sure they get the traffic they deserve. I'm just trying to help surface relevant content fast.
Yeah. Give me another technical term, Topher. Something harder.
Opcat.
Something harder than Bolt 12.
Bobcat.
Did they talk about Upcat there? Oh wow, this could be spicy. Oh, they did talk about Upcat.
Victor noted that they're looking for, quote, compelling arguments either in favor of or against the activation of OPCAT, unquote. If you look at their application page, some topics that the initiative is interested in include the security implications of OPCAT in Bitcoin, economic implications of OPCAT in Bitcoin, OPCAT-based script logic, applications and protocol using OPCAT in Bitcoin, and then there's this general comment of general
Sounds like the
research
submission
related
deadline
to
is already passed,
OPCAT.
though.
The submission deadline for proposals is January 1st, 2025, and
There you go.
It's too late.
That's a spicy term. Dude, this is awesome. Topher, what else do you think about this?
I thought it was cool. I mean, that you could do something simple like search for Bitcoin on JRE and just see all the times that it pops up, things like that. Because I want to know. Joe Rogan is a very popular podcast. Sort of defines pop culture in a way. So if Bitcoin's mentioned, I kind of want to know about it. And it was just so
Has he
easy
talked
to do
about
that
Bitcoin?
search.
Oh, he did
You
talk
just
about
type-
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
you just
Adam
type
Curry.
it
Yeah,
in
Adam
and
Curry
Netflix
was
now
on.
is the
there.
most
What do you
watched
say
thing
about
on
Bitcoin?
television.
Oh, they're the big. They're not even counted in the streaming data in the streaming wars. But yeah, they're the big. I have YouTube TV. I
Yeah.
cut the cable. I don't have cable anymore. It's like I
watch YouTube on TV more than I watch anything because there's so much variety. There's so many different things you can search.
to another person.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you can, if there's like a specific key term that you're interested in
Coins. This
and you
is
wanna
this
see
is a
if, like, other popular podcasts
crazy
are
thing
talking
that's
about it.
happened. There's
just so
this
easy to
so
search.
stable
Just-
coin
And it
is
uses semantic search. So in this case, I think they were talking about crypto, which we know it's not the same, but it's close enough to where when you exhaust the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin, mentions, then it'll start surfacing other stuff. So
Interesting. That's
What do you
awesome.
want feedback about, Jim?
well, I really want to talk about the clips because that was what we came out with today. That's the main thing. I
Oh
wanna
yeah,
do.
so let's drop the major update. What's the major update, Jim?
Sorry, what?
the major update that you're dropping today?
Yeah, so today we're dropping the clips feature, which allows you to create, clip videos out of any of these clips. So if you scroll down, you see that there's the button for clip. So if you were to just scroll down to the Adam Curry one and hit the clip button, you could go in there and you can edit the timestamps to your liking. We made that as easy and simple as possible. But if you hit the confirm button, then it goes ahead and starts generating a clip on your behalf, and then
it pulls it off to the side. They can't see it, but
oh, really? Dang it! Oh, because it's there's like a little thing on the side.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, but
it's basically behind our video here.
Yeah, we didn't think of that, huh? But yeah, so it's finished already. So if it,
Let me see if I can zoom in.
Yeah, okay,
there
you
go. Right there. That's what it looks like.
So I souped this up so that it's got a lot of compute and can generate these clips in like a matter of seconds. That was like 15 seconds. That was pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
And Carr's got a bunch of examples he can show.
Yeah, we'll
from
share
other
them
podcasts.
here. So we got this one. Or actually,
hit
this one here, right here. Yeah. So this is one that
didn't he famously not even get a paycheck?
Yes, this is Joe Rogan talking about Elon Musk doesn't need to steal people's money.
Fucking amazing. And then this other thing about Elon. Elon's gonna steal everybody's money.
He
has $400 billion.
You can copy the link and just share it.
I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing.
It's on our
what he's doing is
he's
a super
already. You can download it and then
attach
attach it to your social media.
Okay, and when
share
you've been
it to Twitter,
fucked with
Nostr,
by these
whatever,
nitwits
LinkedIn,
that hide behind three-letter agencies,
of some normies, and do it that way. So that's the Joe Rogan one. You got Robin Sayre. Shout out to Robin, great podcast, talking to UFC legend Renato Moicano. I don't know if that's how you say it. Is that how you say it? He's based as fuck. He won a fight and then said, "Go read Ludwig von Mises," which is like hilarious. And then we got some SNL pods in there, don't we? We got like.
I think we got
we got Will Cole.
There's
we got
a meme
Will
going
Cole
around
set
Twitter
in
right
Silicon
now,
Valley
which is,
straight on
it's
some bullshit they say that ideas are cheap, but
it's like,
execution is everything. It's the other way around in his eyes, and I kind of agree with him.
Or admit that my dream is over.
And then what else we got?
And then we have more over here. So these are all just clips that we generated.
We got
beforehand.
the Meat Mafia boys, Austin boys.
So is it the calories that's the problem, or the fact that they're taking in all of those?
I forgot what this one was about. I can't hear it from here.
They're not even getting.
I think I'm just talking about fitness and nutrition,
like removing the
basic critical information.
The Survival Podcast.
The Molson
Jack
quote that fits
Spirko,
perfectly
Bitcoiner.
what we've been talking about for the last 25 minutes.
So basically just kind of showing you
we
that
are only
all
truly
these
secure
clips,
when we can look.
all these podcasts are clippable.
Yeah, and I would say within a minute you can make all you can
actually
make
a
all these
little bit of
podcast
a
clips.
deep
Like this
dive
is a great
kind of
part where Mr. PlebDev here
that I put
telling us
behind
about
this
his
whole
journey,
business.
telling us about how he's
And I realized that I kind
his
of
thinking's evolving and
explained it a
how
little
he's
bit.
going about making his
In the starter
roadmap
course, you can go to plebdev.com and click
sharpening
learn
his
how to code.
blade. So I love that one. And then you got Renato
You
again
need them.
talking to our boy
Eventually,
Brandon Keys from
have a lot of
from
Bitcoin,
Green Candle.
you're gonna even
just talking about low time preference and how Bitcoiners are going to win in the end.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, shout out to Moicano, or however you say it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, dude. That clips feature really does a lot.
Yeah, and that was something we heard from the podcasters we were working with is, I need clips, bro. I need to be generating clips. I need to be generating interest, clicks, and get them in my funnel. And so Jamie is one way to do that really fast. I think, I try to think about things in terms of how can I make it 10 times better. And I think with Jamie, we hit the mark there. We're really able to make it 10 times faster, 10 times easier, 10 times smoother. So you can just crank out content and set it and forget it and get back on with your grind of the relentless grind that you guys go through to put out content and good Bitcoin propaganda.
Topher, Austin, what are you guys thinking right now?
I want to see the thing that you've been like really scratching your head over the past few days, which is like getting this thing to link properly on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. So I did figure it out. We have sort of a stopgap. So unfortunately, Twitter is not Nostr. It's pretty cucked. So it forces you. I guess we're gonna get censored from Twitter now for saying that. Please don't censor me, President Elon. So I guess the way they do their API is a little weird. I found it's a hack in a way where I render a web page when you click the Twitter button, so it'll play, but it won't play in line. So if you're kind of window shopping or scrolling, it's not going to show up unless you click on it. So I don't like that as much as the option of downloading than creating your posts on your own. So slight difference. We're going to try to get their Twitter API integrated so that you click a button, it auto uploads to Twitter, and it will play in line.
You want it to autoplay.
I want it to autoplay because I want podcasters to have the best possible propaganda.
We could just sit around.
That's where I'm coming from.
What does this mean at the bottom right here, Jim? The vector and similarity and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's basically a score. So this code is open source if you want to check it out, but it's a score. So vector has to do with how similar the actual meaning is, regardless of whether the exact keywords were used, and then the similarity has to do with I do a blending of classical keyword search with that, so it weights things that are actually used the correct words before like the raw meaning. So it's a little hard to explain if you're not technical, but it's like vague meaning versus like precise keyword, and I blended it like 80-20. I might mess with that a little bit to try to make it better, but I think overall it's pretty good. I would say the top 5 or 6 tend to have what I'm looking for whenever I'm like looking for a specific thing.
So this one was just a general tech one, but let's say we type in like open AI or something, and this has like a vector score.
Stacker News, bro.
831, 882. Well, I mean, these guys know what they're talking about. I think that's what's But then you have somebody like
so one is like an
Lex
exact
Friedman.
match, like exact wording,
Yeah.
and you're probably not going to get that because there's so many words in here, but it's it's what I was talking about at Startup Day in Mexico. It's this idea of mapping meaning into like a vector space, like a coordinate space. Like you could think of it as a 3D space, even though it's much more than that. And it's like these dimensions are the same. Like,
Oh, wow.
and you can
So,
do
like,
math with language.
I
like,
typed in multi-sig and then Joe Kelly came up. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's amazing. So that's what you mean by the
Shout out to Gary, dude.
That's what you mean by the similarity and the vector score then,
Yeah, dude.
right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and they do say multi-sig in there, so
Right.
it does.
So you're trying to
rank
find
higher.
you're trying to find like the most actual
Right.
relevant.
And I want it to be like you have a vague memory of like rough wording, but you can still find it within the top 3 to 5. Like that's what I tend to find when I use it.
That's still way better than anything you'd get from Google.
Yeah, Google's just not capable of doing this. I don't think it's in their wheelhouse or desire to do any of this stuff. But I think this is the future of podcasting. We're all busy as hell. I don't think we're gonna be listening to a whole podcast unless it has to do with specific research or it was recommended by a friend. So I think this is a cool way to save time but still give the creators some love. And one of my goals is to add like a Zap button so that if you're on Podcasting 2.0, you can get the value for value. If they're not listening to the whole thing, they can hit a button and just give you value too. So my goal is to kind of blend it and make it fair. I'm creating shortcuts, and I recognize in the short time maybe it's not perfect, but I want to make it
a lot.
Yeah, one quick thing on the Podcasting 2.0. You're pulling these from RSS. So
Yeah.
seemingly,
There you go.
so seemingly you're just ready to interoperate with Podcasting 2.0.
Yeah, I think there's just a field there. I'd have to triple check exact. I've worked with podcasting, but I'm rusty on the exact schema. But I think I can just pull that from a field, can't I?
Yeah, it's a node pub key.
Zap.
You'll just enable key sends. So
Yeah, and we'll do key sends. You guys can send zaps and sats to whoever, and make sure we give our tithe to Mr. Adam Curry for setting up a great system too.
I think the question I have, because what Austin was talking about, how is all that much easier to do after you get all the hard lifting done? Because you always talk about steel beam, or just kind of go into that. Is it much easier to add some of these Bitcoin and Nostr features after all the steel beams are set? Am I making sense or no?
I think I use steel beams in a slightly different context, but I get your meaning. Yeah, I think at first you have to identify the use case. You have to create tremendous value, and then it's like, okay, you created value for me, and the podcaster created great value for me. So now I can add this button to send them sats, even if it's only a little bit. It adds up, and you can have these viral moments or these high interest, highly thoughtful moments. Become a revenue source.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's just such an interesting way to think about it. As far
I just
as like
searched steel beams on pull that up, Jamie. Give me a very
Do they
good
melt?
description of steel beams.
Do they melt, Austin? Do steel beams melt?
I do not see any section whatsoever mentioning the melting point, so I'll not talk about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this. I'm excited to build from here, open to feedback, and yeah, I'm if you have a podcast and you want to be in here.
Oh, here's one where you're talking about steel beams.
Sure. So I would say those
funny.
systems, most of them are built by people that create what are called foundation models. In other words, they're tuning the neural nets and the big systems to create the foundation LLM models. The way I see those, and that's been kind of validated, is those are kind of like steel beams.
Yeah.
They're a commodity
Kind of like
that you use
steel
to build other
beams.
things. So
They're a commodity that you use to build other things. I found
That's
it.
crazy. See, we caught you. You're over here talking about steel beams, and I'm like, look, bro, you have also previously talked about steel beams.
They
Pull
also
it up,
don't
Jamie.
melt.
Pull that up, Jamie.
But
Great stuff.
But yeah, I'm excited to build from here. And if you have a podcast or you're a fan of a podcast and you want us to add it, hit the request button and let's start a discussion about
if you
adding
want
it in.
to add a podcast.
Or you can just email me at jim@cascader.xyz. My shirt here says Cascader. jim@CASCDR.xyz. You can make a request either way, and we'll see about getting your podcast in there.
Cool. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to bring up, or should we wrap it up?
Yeah, we need to. I guess the final game is get this in front of the real Jamie.
Wait, can we search?
And then
We'll have a Jamie off.
Jamie pull that
Can
up.
you
finally.
search? Can you search Joe Rogan and then type pull it? Wait,
I think you can pull that up, Jamie.
Jamie.
It definitely works. I've done it before.
Will this break? Pull it up, Jamie.
It'll infinite recursion.
All right, we're gonna see. Let's see. Oh wait, dude.
How will Jamie pull up?
Jamie pull up.
Yeah, they say it.
Dude, that's your job. You have to pull it up.
They don't say it
Jamie pull up.
precisely, which is what I like about this is
I
it's
don't know if
the
everyone
vague
caught that.
meaning.
I want
is
to note
prioritized over
the similarity of
autistic,
that.
like
So
exact.
if you go to the,
Totally, and
the other
that's how you can tell
screenshot,
from
Jamie,
someone
that text you here.
that's-
I don't
Oh,
know.
sorry,
Look at
my
that
AI,
mug
you
is
can
on, so I
tell
just
there.
pulled
Look
this
at
up
that
with
vendor
some.
score.
You can tell that you're not just doing keyword matching like so many other
Scroll down. People have
AI
used
tools
that
do.
Jamie, go to that
15%.
chart.
I'm
trying to say what it says.
Jamie,
though.
just go to that chart. Make
Totally.
It's literally him saying, "Jamie, pull it up." Every
That
single
is such a
one.
fucking crazy.
Jamie,
photo.
bring up the
Pull that
Indian
photo
I
up.
gotta make an ad where it's like pull that up, pull that up, pull that up.
Is it online?
Yeah, Jamie, pull up the. Hey,
Jamie, pull that up.
We gotta have
you
like
li-
the final countdown and just go for like 10 hours.
Yeah, he literally says.
can you pull that back up, Jamie, for a second?
Can you pull
Just want
that
everyone to
back
see it. Don't look
Yeah,
away.
that's for the,
Stare straight into the sun. Go to the
prototype
next
for the
receipt here.
agentic clipping. Is you?
She's
like,
up there with Bernie.
you agentically
What'd
go
she
through
do?
every
Check.
Joe Rogan podcast.
Pull
and
it up,
count how many
Jamie.
pull that up Jamie's occurred in history.
It's just like an endless scroll.
How many
awesome.
ups could Jamie pull up if Jamie could pull ups? So.
It's Jamie's all the way. It's Jamie's
The one
all the
above
way
that,
down.
Jamie? The one above Jamie, have it
But
there?
yeah, I'm psyched
the
to
poll
build
I
from
didn't even
here.
notice that,
The one
but
above that,
you
Jamie? The
actually
one above
paused
that?
the
Yeah.
other one.
Jamie,
Yeah, I
have it
mean,
We
there?
ended up
have to.
playing that
Is this up on
one.
the screen?
Yeah, it'd be
This
too
is
weird if you didn't.
That's cool though.
It'd be like the multiverse
Yeah,
of
airdrop it to
Jamie.
It's a nice
Yes.
small touch.
Do you know how
no
to do that?
clip.
There was
parallel.
clearly you not know how to do that.
Airdrop it to Jamie, and then he'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Look, I can't. He goes, I can't find it, Jamie. You pull up. It's amazing.
Can't find it.
Yeah, but I'm
Jamie
stoked to
Jamie got
build
some
from
money
here.
from
And,
Shane.
if you guys
Jamie
haven't yet,
got
cop
him
your
with
tickets to
horses.
Startup
Jamie,
Day.
you
We're going to
gotta
be
pick
making
this up.
Oh, yeah.
some additional announcements on this vein. We're going to be talking about our roadmap and what we've accomplished so far, some things that we haven't really talked about in public, some of the really cool projects we've done, and where we're going to build from here, building based AI at
You think it'll
Cascader.
find Marty's pecan though? Let me see.
Pecan?
No, hang on. So let me do.
Oh,
the-
pecan.
Yeah,
Is that
let
what
me
you're-
try that.
Maybe. I don't know.
That would be amazing. Hang on. I only know.
I don't know if it'll spell it correctly.
Let's see. Let's see if it can find it. Oh no, wrong one. Hang on.
Yeah, hit the wrong button.
Oh no.
Yeah. Wait. Okay.
We got to get the official spelling.
I think
for...
at the end he says peace, and maybe it doesn't transcribe because.
Oh, hang on. Maybe here.
Peace and love, freaks.
No.
Wait, continue that one.
No, can I?
It ended.
Yeah, if you hit the continue.
Yeah.
Oh wait, here.
Oh, you can.
It does do it, but I think it just doesn't know what to do with that nonsense.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Dude, that's amazing. You're going to have to ask him for the official spelling so you can get it just right.
Get it in cursive.
Awesome. Dude, thank you for coming on and talking about Pull It Up Jamie, dude. Yeah. I'm super excited, man.
Yeah.
Can we give him a round of applause, everybody? Woo!
Thank you, guys.
Pull that up, Jamie. Nice. All right, we'll end it right there.
Hell yeah. Thank you, guys.